Okay, now let's check some extra options of Blender. Um, Before all, like, let's check the add-ons. We have like some useful add-ons in Blender which are like pre-installed, but you have to activate them in order to use them. And two very useful of them are the import images as planes. To find it, you can just like click right here in this tab image. Then you have this import images as planes. With this one, you can import in the image tab images as planes or video files as planes. So if you go in here, select this, you can go and select any image or even a movie file. Let's directly do a movie file or video file. Let's take this one. No, it's too big. Let's take this one. If they are like very big files, they will still play, but like at the end you can get some performance problems. But if you really load a lot of them, I will take this one or like a small one, this one, and you have like then here the options of getting them as a shaded, like a material which is like inflicted by light, or emits its own light, or doesn't even inflicted by any affected by any light, outside light. And I prefer to pick this up because it's like a confusing part. I will show you why. So like let's do this, and I have now like my image as a movie, as a plane, my video as a plane. So I can look from every side, it's still playing, and I can now also have several of them. And you have some options of it as well here. By default, it is running on exact length of frames which is in the video file. In this case, like here, it is this long. But if you want it to loop, now we have here. Let's make it a little bit longer, and I have 377 frames. So if I will come here, and then it will stop playing. But if I will have like the cyclic one, then it is after the 77 frame, it still continues and loops from the beginning. But if I want to have more control on it, I have to notice how many frames it has, and then like write it here, 1, and then now I can use the offset to play with it, but it doesn't loop anymore. This is only then you have to like loop either manually, like if you start here by 1, like in frame 1, let's go to frame 1, and you put a keyframe here, and then go to here to 377, and put here also 377 as keyframe. So now you see you have the animation. You have to select it in order to see keyframes. I think we had this before, and this is now like going there, and then after this you have to, if you want to loop it manually, then you select everything, all the both keyframes, and shift D, duplicate, and bring it like here exactly to the one frame after, just one frame after. In this case, then it goes to 377 and then goes back to 1, and then loops. Or the third option is not having a keyframe at all. You select everything, let's delete them, no keyframes. You go here and set it equal to with hash, with the expression, scripted expressions. Just write their frame, and in this case, it is like the frame number is equal to frame number. I have here the offset is equal to the frame number, because we put here the frame as an attribute, frame attribute. We use it to drive because it's a drive the offset of the movie texture or video texture. So it goes, and it doesn't loop. But remember, we had this function of modulo in another part, Modulo is like it divides a number to another number, and the result is the remaining. So if you have like, imagine if you have like 4 divided by 2, you have 2, right? But if you divide 5 by 2, you have like 2.5. So now we have like the other function, which is modulo. If you make like 4 modulo is like this percent sign, just to in maths, like you use maths or programming. If you use modulo, this is modulo, not percent, modulo, this is 0, because like if you divide by 2, there is no decimals left, so it is 0. And if we 5 mod 2, it is just like if there are 2 times in 5, and this is like 1. So you remember the old elementary school dividing, so for this part of it. So if you do this, there are 2 times 2 is 4, so you make this and you get the 0. And if you would do the same here with 5, so and there are 2 times, you write it here, 2 times 2 is 4, and this is 1. And then you see 1, there are no 2's in 1, and then you start to go to the decimals. But before you go to decimals, you stop by modulo. So this is like then the modulo, this sign, the percent sign. Yeah. Okay. And if you want to use them here, then we can have if you write the frame modulo the total frame name number of it. So if it goes to until it is equal until 377 is equal still, but if it reaches the 377, it goes to 0, and it starts from the back. So in this case, in this way, we can loop the animations. So it starts again, and then if you will take this and modulo 377, then it will be, the result will be this. Okay, so this is another way to use the video textures and loop them properly. Okay, this is this, and then let's check another nice add-on, which is the node wrangler. For this we write just here node, and you can also use this node arrange. This is also helps very much. Node wrangler and node arrange, and in this way you can, for example, if you have like a video texture or an image texture or any kind of texture, you can just like press Ctrl T, or here use the add texture setup, and immediately you have like these two nodes which help you to move it, scale it, rotate it. Here's the rotate it and scale it, and or like use another part. So you can do it of course for an image texture, but you can also use it in noise texture on whatever. So all the textures you can put this useful two setups which you always use. If you use textures, you have to use them in order to have like the proper setting. This is like a texture setup for the node wrangler, and or you can use like if you have like a lot of cows here, you can select all of them and say align nodes, and then they get it like in a really nice proper way aligned. So these are these two useful add-ons in Blender. There are of course many more. So you have like also some let's check without this. You can check them here. So for example, there are some useful add mesh tools. You can like, there is a landscape generator, there is an architectural pieces add-on, bolts. These are like gears in machines. You can premate of them, or extra objects which I have activated, and then you have like some some extra objects here, like single word or like torus objects or mathematical functions and different, or diamonds, or here also like honeycombs or teapots or many different things. Or in submenu import, you can find also different import options. This is not here. Import export, you can have like different file export import options, which maybe you will need some point. Or like in curve, at curve you have also extra add objects for curves, or like even an IV generator, which is like tree like forms, sapling tree, and as well as it's a tree generator. So you have like, you can explore them. There are like several useful things here in this already installed add-ons. If you want to go beyond, you can check, let's go to here. So let's go to here. You can, in YouTube there are like zillions of add-ons or generators. There are lots of channels who are presenting new add-ons every week almost. So like if you say here add-ons Blender, then you will get like a very huge list, 10, 20 free Blender add-ons. There are like so many people who are like introducing new add-ons on YouTube, and then most of them are directing in two big marketplaces. One of them is Blender Market. Here you can also search all these. So here directly, let's say you want to generate animals, and there are like pre-made animal models you can buy here. Or there are also like, I think you can modifier setups. Yeah, there's some modifier setups, models, or you can look for geometry nodes extra, and then you have also here like a lot of geometry node setups which people created, and you can download, buy, and like a fire generator, for example, or machine generators, matrix, a lot of different things. So if you have like, for example, a customer who asked for something, or client who asked for something special, and you know that you can easily solve it by like just for 15 euro, you buy this and then you solve this problem before like you are investing 8 hours of time, which is like your valuable working time. This you can do here. Another one is the Gumroad, and here you can also search specifically here in, for example, like let's check for geometry nodes, and there are lots of toolkits. You maybe remember Aaron Dale. He's really doing nice tutorials, and he's like selling here the fixed a toolkit which is like very useful. But you can see there are like city generators, road generators, rigs for cars, and some of them are really not so expensive. Like instead of buying a coffee, you buy your coffee, order the coffee for this person, and then you get like very nice, very playful things. So if you want to invest something for your project, or just like have some free time, you buy yourself your free time instead of like doing this. Or of course, if you download these setups, it is like also a tutorial at the end, because most of them, not most of them, all of them, like these node setups are actually, you can go inside the groups. They are made like this. You go, if you buy them, this is like kind of this. So they look like this, and if you go inside them, you can have the secret of it to see how they look like from inside. Just a second. Yeah, good. So you can learn how they did this setting. These are like these two marketplaces, Gumroad and Blender Marketplace. Of course, but you can also create your own store here and start to sell things. Like you can sell your models. Um, you can sell basically everything which is like digital assets. You can sell things for Unity. You can sell things for Blender. Um, as you can see, there are people. If you go here and select geometry, let's uncheck this. But you can see like there are hairs. I don't know, like there are many different things. Like it could be a nice thing to earn your money selling these assets, selling your assets. Of course, like most of, if the strategy is like you create a tutorial in YouTube and you use your asset there, and people find this video and they think, okay, this is nice, I can use this, and then they buy your asset, whether it is like a geometry node setting or a model or a texture or anything. So these are like these two things, two marketplaces. Yeah.